Nu timp dacă gata să puneți? Asta e, oricum asta greșit. Hi guys, Valentin here. In today's video, we're going to talk about discipline and inspiration. Which one you should use and basically which one is going to give you the most outcome. Let's go. It can be really confusing out there when you see like two completely different ends of spectrum. Like on one side, you can have a guy like Andrew Tate that says like, don't give a shit about your emotion, just go do the work, get shit done. And on the other side, you can have like a spiritual guru that tells you, no, you just have to lay down, use the affirmations, law of attraction, visualization, everything is gonna come to your way. My recent quest and the biggest challenge that I had recently was to kind of like find the balance between the two. Because in the past I had like the Andrew Tate kind of way where it's just shut the fuck up and get shit done, and it works to some degree and you get results from that. And on the other side, I had really kind of like magical moments where we could say that we were bending matter with energy and just things flow into your life. So my biggest dilemma recently was like, how do you find a balance between the two? And this is what we're going to discuss about in this video today. So what's the right thing? Well, it depends on your goal. What goal do you have and how fast do you want to achieve it? Because depending on your goal and the vehicle that you'd like to achieve that, well, the answer is going to differ. Because let's say like your goal is to make 100K or like $1 million, and you want to achieve that in the next 2 to 3 years. Well, if you start from scratch or from bottom, you really have to use a model that has already been proven to work. You'll have to use mainly discipline, because there's no way in hell you're gonna be able to navigate through your emotion and be at a high level enough of inspiration to get shit done so you can achieve that result in the next 3 years. However, let's say you still want to make 100K or $1 million, but you give yourself like 5 years or 10 years for that. Well, then we could go into the inspiration route, because you will have the timeline to allow yourself to actually fuck up and just try different things. And the thing with inspiration is like, sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't. And when it doesn't come, it's because you're not aligned. There's something in you that's not right, that's not just. And when you're not fully aligned, you're not going to be inspired. Like, you're not going to be able to do anything. The crazy thing is that your body has kind of like a metric that tells you if something is aligned with you or not. Let's say like you take on a new project and like you were inspired at the beginning to do that new project, maybe a new job, maybe a new course, maybe a new skill that you'd like to develop. And you start out and you feel pretty excited. And then like a couple months on, maybe you get some results, maybe you don't. 3 months on, 6 months on, 9 months on, it kind of feels numb and you don't feel like doing it anymore. Well, that's when we kind of start to panic and think like, oh shit, I just lost my inspiration, when in reality, it's just that you're not aligned anymore. And to give you a quick story to illustrate this example is, nobody gives a fuck. You can't force passion. You cannot force inspiration. If you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it. It's not going to work. So in my case was realigning myself, and it took kind of like 3 months to see, okay, do I want to stop what I was doing? Do I want to stop coaching people? Or do I want to coach them but in a different way? And it was like the big click, the big thing that kicked in and was like, okay, I actually love to help people, but I want to do it in a different way. And my method evolved. And what helped me to go through this and to have this realization was a combination of external factors like people and mentors that challenged me, and also like look at the competition. What do they do? And also a long process of internal introspection and see like, okay, who am I and what do I want? And all this came down to what I'm doing today, which is mainly screaming at people and helping them realize brutal truths and helping them be brutally honest with themselves. And this is how like my coaching style evolved. And with the style evolution, also the income evolution. I went from charging a couple thousands to charge a couple tens of thousands. And this was also like a big topic, but it's for another video. So it comes down to speed or pleasure. Like, what's your goal? And would you rather achieve it as fast as possible, or would you rather achieve it in a way that you like it? And the result of my introspection about discipline versus inspiration was realizing that I'd rather take 2 or 3 years more to achieve my goal, but in a way that I love the process and I enjoy it, rather than sacrificing everything and achieving it as fast as possible. Because I've seen a bunch of clients and a bunch of like friends that I had, like they were millionaires and they achieved the success that I want to have, but they were still feeling bad inside and they were still feeling miserable because they had to kind of like prostitute themselves and to do things that were not aligned with their values and what they want in the core just to achieve the result. And it's possible, but like there's a danger to it. And just a quick disclaimer for all of you like that are gonna jump on me. I'm not saying that if you're gonna take the route of discipline, you're gonna be miserable. I'm saying you could. And that's a danger that I saw in a lot of people. Now, if you take the discipline route, now about discipline, I love it and I use it. And the main story that I can give it to you, it's sport. For years, I tried to have a workout routine. I was never able to do it. Until like for the past 4 or 5 months, 4.5 months, I'm constantly doing a workout routine. And I get here through discipline. But for me, discipline is something you build up, brick by brick every single day. You cannot have it like this. Like you cannot shift and all of a sudden be disciplined. You have to build it brick by brick. For me, it was like with workout, just doing 5 minutes of workout every single morning for a month, just getting that habit in. And then I went down to 10 minutes and now it's 15 minutes and just gradually going up and building that habit. So for me, what I found out that works is asking myself, okay, what is the goal that I want to achieve? Do I want to go there as fast as possible? Or do I want to go there in a way that I would love the process? And if the answer is as fast as possible, then Valentin, shut the fuck up, see what you gotta do and just do it. And if the answer is I want to get there and enjoy the journey, it's like, okay, then I'm okay sacrificing some time, energy, and maybe doing something that is not really productive and is not really as good from a technical, logical standpoint. For me, most of the time, I take the inspiration route. But I'm going to use discipline to kind of just have some kind of structure in my life, like with the workout, with the letting go or the meditation process that I have, and some other habits. So the big questions here is, what do you want and how fast do you want to get it? Now we talked about inspiration and discipline, but there's a third one. And like, to wrap up this video, I'd like to talk to you about what I think there are the 3 main ways to get shit done in life, which is inspiration, discipline, and motivation. And we covered inspiration. It's like the thing that just pops up, that you just want to go for it. Then you have the discipline, which is just like, shut the fuck up and keep doing what you have to do. And there's the motivation. This is the worst one. And this is actually what most people rely on. Like, they watch a video, they see a movie, they hear a quote, and all of a sudden they feel motivated for a couple hours or a couple days. And then all of a sudden, boom, the motivation goes down. And I had this question like a bunch of times with like the beginning entrepreneurs, or how do I stay motivated? You don't. There's no way in hell you're gonna stay motivated. You either go with the discipline route, either go with the inspirational route, or a combination of both. But don't rely on motivation, because motivation is just a judge. It's like an energy bar, like a stamina bar that you have in the morning, you don't have it in the evening. And the more you do actions that you hate doing, the faster that energy bar is going to dry up. And you can do like a bunch of actions, but that kind of a little bit piss you off, or like one action that really pisses you off, and boom, the energy bar is gone. And like, you have no more energy to go for. So you need to either take the time to build the habits and build it brick by brick on discipline and just take a couple of years and become a monster and then get shit done, or you take some time to figure out who you are, what do you want, what do you like, what you don't like, what's your mission in life, and then go after it. Or, as I said, a combination of 2. Now, the last thing I want to cover here is like the stages of life, because in different stages, you're going to have different tendencies. And depending on the stage of your life that you are, your age, your background, and what your current goals are, you're going to tend to lean over one or the other. And I just want to let a little mark here, don't freak out. If today you feel like you want to go the inspirational route, but you compare yourself a lot with all these guys that are going the discipline route and that are saying like, you gotta be a man, you gotta do whatever it takes, you gotta be hustling. If you don't resonate with that and you don't want to do that, stay in inspiration, go all in, because you're gonna get shit done with inspiration. Maybe not as much as you would like to, but you're gonna get shit done. And over the years, by going all in on inspiration, there are two things that could happen. First one, you realize that inspiration is not enough for you and you want more, but you will not just understand it. You're gonna feel it. Like you're gonna feel that just going after inspiration is not enough for you. And that will push yourself to go through discipline. And you're naturally gonna gravitate towards the other. Or you could actually go all in on discipline and see like, this is actually getting shit done. And this is like, it's enough for me and it's good for me. And then you stay there. So the main takeaway I'd like you to have here is, after this video, tonight, take 30 minutes and just ask yourself, what's my main goal right now in my life? Second question, how fast do I want to achieve it? And like, as fast as possible, it's not an answer. Literally, what would be a reasonable timeline for you? 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 6 months? I don't know. What is the timeline that you'd be okay with? That is still logical and like reasonably true. Don't set unrealistic expectations. And once you have that, look at what is compatible with that timeline. Does the timeline require discipline and just discipline, or does the timeline require inspiration? And then you can have your choice. And if you are with the dilemma that you want a goal relatively fast, but you don't have the discipline yet, well, you gotta make a choice, which is either shut the fuck up and get the discipline down, either sacrifice the speed, knowing that you're gonna go with the flow. With that being said, wish you a great day and see you in the next video. Bye.
Subscribe and share.